Hello friends, I am Balaji Rao from the Masters PU College. In last class, we completed chapter called Determinants. And in this class, we are going to start a new chapter called Relations and Functions. Relations and Functions. When it comes to this chapter importance, this is very important chapter. Relations and Functions is one of the important chapter. Whatever we do in maths, it is a function. For example, sin x, it is a trigonometric function. Suppose the number 5, it's a constant function. The importance of this chapter is very high. Difficulty of this chapter. Is this chapter easy or difficult? Many students feel this chapter is difficult. But actually, my point of view, this chapter is easy. Only the thing is, you should concentrate on theory part first. If you are good in all the definitions, if you are good in all the examples related to those definitions, if you are good in concept, then this chapter is very easy. This chapter name is Relations and Functions. Relation. We already learned about relation in class 11 maths, right? Relations chapter is there in first PUC. Here, I'll quickly revise the definition of relation and we'll enter into second PUC syllabus. What we are going to learn in this class? We are going to learn the definition of relation and types of relations. In types of relations, we are going to learn 3 types of relations. Try to understand theory part related to these relations. Otherwise, these problems are little bit confusing. If you are good in all the definitions and related examples, this is easy only. Okay, look here. What is this definition? Cartesian product of sets. Actually, to understand the definition of relation, you must know what is Cartesian product of sets. This we already learned in first PUC. However, I am revising it quickly. You see, A comma B are any 2 non-empty sets. We consider A comma B are any 2 sets which are not empty. Then Cartesian product of sets A comma B is denoted by A cross B. We read this as A cross B, not A into B. Cartesian product of sets A comma B is denoted by A cross B and is defined as set of all ordered pairs from A and B. This we already learned in first PUC, right? I just revising it quickly. A comma B are any 2 non-empty set, then Cartesian product of sets A comma B is denoted by A cross B and is defined as set of all ordered pairs from A and B. I'll try to explain this clearly with an example. You see here, they given set A, set B. We are trying to calculate A cross B. A cross B. First I written set A cross set B. What is A cross B definition? Is set of all ordered pairs from A and B. Set of all ordered pairs from A and B. Here, ordered pairs from A and B. You take an element from set A and pair with all the elements of set B. You take the first element of set A and pair with all the elements of set B. That means 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Similarly, you take the second element in set A and pair with all the elements of set B. 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. Right? This is what we learned in first PUC. I am revising quickly how to calculate A cross B. Similarly, B cross A. You write first set B. B cross A, na? First you write set B and then you write set A. You consider first element of first set and you pair with all the elements of second set. You take 3 and pair with all the elements of this set. Order pair 3, 1, order pair 3, 2. You take second element in first set and you pair with all the elements of this set. 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1, 5, 2. These things we already learned in first PUC. I just quickly revised what is the definition of Cartesian product of sets and how we will calculate A cross B and B cross A. What is this chapter? This chapter name is Relations and Functions, right? So, now we are going to learn about relation. What is relation? The definition of relation also we learn in first PUC. I am just revising it quickly. A comma B are any 2 sets. A comma B are any two sets. Then any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. To explain this, I'll consider an example. You see, I taken set A as 1, 2, set B as 3, 4, 5. Then I'll calculate A cross B, right? Just now in the earlier example, we learned A cross B, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. See, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. I just written A cross B. Okay. Now we'll see examples to understand what is relation. What is the definition of relation? Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. Any subset of A cross B. You see here R1. R1 is a set. R1 is a set. In this set, how many elements are there? Yes, answer. How many elements are there in this set? 2 elements are there, not 4 elements. In this set, 2 elements are there. All the elements present in this set are present in A cross B. See here 1, 3. Yes, 1, 3 is there here. 1, 5. Order pair 1, 5. Yes, order pair 1, 5 is there in this. All the elements present in this set are present in A cross B. That means what? This R1 is a subset of A cross B. This is a subset of A cross B. Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. So this is a subset of A cross B. So this is called relation from A to B. I hope you are understanding, right? This is a relation from A to B because it is a subset of A cross B. You take this second example R2. Order pair 1, 4 is there in this? Yes, it is there in A cross B. In this, how many elements are there? 4 elements are there. Order pair 1, 4 is there in A cross B? Yes, it is there. Order pair 2, 3 is there in A cross B? Yes, it is there. Order pair 2, 5 is there? Yes, it is there. Order pair 1, 5 is there? Yes. All the elements present in this set are present in A cross B. So, R2 is a subset of A cross B. If R2 is a subset of A cross B, then we can say that it is a relation from A to B. Now, you observe this R3. I consider one example. In this, how many elements are there in set R3? 3 elements are there. Now, what to check? All the elements present in R3 are present in A cross B or not? That you need to check. See this order pair 2, 5. Is there in A cross B? Is there in A cross B? Yes, here it is. It is there in A cross B. Order pair 2, 3. Is there in A cross B? Yes, it is there. Order pair 1, 6. Is there in A cross B? Order pair 1, 6. Order pair 1, 6. Not there. Order pair 1, 6 not in A cross B. So, is R3 is a subset of A cross B? When we say R3 is a subset of A cross B, all the elements present in set R3 are present in A cross B. Then R3 is called subset of A cross B. Here, this is not a subset of A cross B. If it is not a subset of A cross B, then it is not a relation from A to B. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. What is the definition of relation? I am asking you. Answer. What is the definition of relation? Answer. Very good. Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. Any subset. It must be a subset of A cross B. However, we already learned this definition and important note points and some problems also we did. Take your class 11 first PUC relations chapter. Quickly go through it. It is very useful in this chapter, right? So quickly revise those things. You see here, I consider a set. In this, no element is there. It is empty set. This set is a subset of A cross B. In first PUC sets chapter, we learned that empty set is subset of every set. Empty set is subset of every set. So, is a subset of A cross B? Of course, it is a subset of A cross B. If it is a subset of A cross B, then it is a relation from A to B. What is the definition of relation? Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. Please focus. This is very, very important definitions. In case if you didn't understand the definition, you will feel very difficulty learning in this chapter, right? This is a relation from A to B? Yes. Why you are saying it is a relation from A to B? Because it is a subset of A cross B, right? Okay. Now R5. You observe here, all the elements present in this R5 are present in A cross B. In this, how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are there. Order pair 1, 3 is there in A cross B? Yes. Order pair 1, 4 is there? Yes. Order pair 1, 5? Yes. Order pair 2, 3? Yes. Order pair 2, 4? Yes. Order pair 2, 5? Yes. All the elements present in this R5 are present in A cross B. That means actually this is A cross B only. If you observe clearly, this is A cross B. Is it a subset of A cross B? Yes. We know that every set is subset to itself. We know that every set is subset to itself, and clearly it is a subset of A cross B. As R5 is a subset of A cross B, we can say that it is a relation from A to B. I hope you understand what is a relation from A to B. This chapter is there in first PUC. Please take first PUC classwork. Go through all the definitions, all some problems. It is small chapter only. You can complete it quickly, right? So you revise it. That will be very useful in this chapter, right? Now, one important point, many points are there, but which is useful in second PUC syllabus, that only I am revising. R is a relation from A to A. R is a relation from A to A means, then R is a relation from A to A. Suppose here you see R is a relation from A to B. Like that, if R is a relation from A to A, if you write here, if R is a relation from A to A, then R is called relation on A. R is a relation on A means what? It means R is a relation from A to A. You remember that we given this as a note point in first PUC relations. That's why I am saying take your first PUC classwork and go through that relations chapter quickly, which is going to be very useful. Right. Till now, whatever we learn in this class, that is all present in first PUC. Now, from now onwards, whatever will come, that is a part of second PUC syllabus. In first PUC, we learned about relation and we done few problems, and we learned domain, range of a relation. That type of problems we did in first PUC. In this second PUC syllabus, relations chapter starts with types of relations. Types of relations. First, what you learn? What is relation? You learn. What is relation? I am asking you, what is relation? Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. Any subset of A cross B. You know what is subset, right? Any subset of A cross B is called relation from A to B. Any subset of A cross A. Any subset of A cross A is called relation from A to A. Relation from A to A. Simply we call it as it is a relation on A. That is this note point. R is a relation from A to A. Then we simply say that R is a relation on A. R is a relation on A means what? R is a relation from A to A. See this empty relation. Our first definition is empty relation. What is empty relation? A relation R in set A. A relation R in set A is called empty relation if the relation is an empty set. I'll give an example for this. You just note down this definition. After empty relation definition, universal relation definition, I'll give an example to explain clearly what is empty relation, what is universal relation. You do not confuse. A relation R on set A. R is a relation on set A means what? It is a relation from A to A. R is a relation R in set A is called empty relation. When we say a relation is an empty relation, when this R is empty set. Okay. However, I'll go through this example quickly. You see here, set A, set B, A cross B. Okay, you know how to calculate A cross B. You observe this R4. You observe this relation. Here, it is a relation from A to B? Yes, it is a relation from A to B. Here, if I calculate A cross A, then we say it is a relation from A to A. There is not much difference. Relation on A means it is a subset of A cross A. Do not confuse. Here, you observe this. It is a relation from A to B? Yes, because empty set is a relation. Empty set is a subset of A cross B. As empty set is a subset of A cross B, empty set is a relation from A to B. You observe this relation is empty set. This relation is also known as empty relation from A to B. I hope you are understanding. This relation is empty relation from A to B. Okay. Now we'll go to universal relation definition. Universal relation. A relation R in set A is called universal relation if R is A cross A. If the relation R is A cross A. You observe this example here. You observe this relation, which is same as A cross B. See, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. See, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, which is same as A cross B. Is R5 is same as A cross B. R5 is same as A cross B. So, this relation is the example for universal relation. Okay, I'll revise it quickly. You do not confuse. What is empty relation? A relation R from A to B is said to be empty relation if R equal to empty set. If R is a relation from A to B is said to be universal relation if R equal to A cross B. Here, this is the relation on set A. That's why the definitions are like this. A relation R in set A is called empty relation if R equal to empty set. Universal relation. A relation R in set A is called universal relation if R equal to A cross A. I hope you understand. Now we are going to learn 3 most important definitions. Empty relation, universal relation, they are not much important. If you understand, it's okay. If you didn't understand, nothing to worry. What are the 3 definitions which are very, very important in this chapter? First one, reflexive relation. Second one, symmetric relation. Third one, transitive relations. These 3 are the heroes of this exercise. Relations. Reflexive relation. Very, very important. In this class, I am going to cover only reflexive relation. Next class, I'll quickly revise what is reflexive, what is symmetric. I'll go with the symmetric relation, transitive relation. 3 most important definitions. I'll explain in detail. I'll explain slowly. Try to understand these things clearly. These are not easy, but it looks easy, not easy. So, especially examples. Whatever the examples I'll give, you try to understand those examples clearly. When we do exercise problems, then you will get more clarity about these relations. Heroes of this story called relations. Reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation. We will see what is reflexive relation. See, reflexive relation. A relation R on set A. Relation R on set A means R is a relation from A to A is called reflexive relation. A relation is called reflexive relation if for every x belongs to A, order pair x comma x belongs to R. Little confusing only. For every x belongs to A, set A. For every x belongs to set A, order pair x comma x belongs to the relation, then that relation is called reflexive relation. Little confusing to understand, but after the examples you can understand this definition. What they are saying in this, R is a relation on set A. They are saying R is a relation on set A. Okay, I considered set A 1, 2. I am calculating A cross A. I am calculating A cross A. Okay, you know how to calculate A cross A. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. You calculated A cross A. Right. What is reflexive relation? I considered one set here. First thing, it must be a relation on set A. You observe, R1 is a relation on set A. R1 is a relation on set A. R1 is a relation from A to A. When we say R1 is a relation from A to A, if it is a subset of A cross A. Order pair 1, 1, it is present in A cross A. Order pair 2, 1, it is present in A cross A. What is they are saying? For every x belongs to A, x comma x must belongs to the relation. Here 1 is there in set A. You take 1 is there in set A. 1, 1 must present in the relation. You see 1, 1 is there in this relation? Yes, very good, it is there. Now here they are saying for every x belongs to A. You need to check for every element of set A. You see here, what is this element? This element is 2. Order pair 2, 2 is there in this relation? You need to check. Order pair 2, 2 is there in this relation? No. So this is not reflexive on set A. I hope you understand. See, order pair 1, 1, order pair 2, 2 must present in the relation. Then only we say it is a reflexive relation. For every x belongs to A, order pair x comma x belongs to R, then we say R is a reflexive relation. For example, set A is like this: 1, 2, 3. Then 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 must present in the given relation. Okay. Now you see R2, this relation R2. For every x belongs to A, x comma x belongs to R. You see here 1 is there. 1 comma 1 is there in the relation? Yes, it is there. Here 2 is there. 2 comma 2 is there in this relation? Yes, it is there. 3 comma 3. You first see here, first of all, before saying it is a reflexive relation, first of all, it is a relation on set A. It is a relation from A to A. See, is it is a subset of A cross A? See, is it is a subset of A cross A? All the elements present in this set are present in A cross A. This element is not in A cross A. That means this is not a relation on A. When this is not a relation on A, how you will say it is reflexive on A? Try to understand. First thing, this is one of the best example. This is not relation on A, even though this condition is satisfied. This condition is satisfied here, but this is not relation on A. How you will say it is a reflexive relation on A? Getting the point? When we say relation is reflexive, for every x belongs to A, x comma x belongs to R, and moreover that is a relation on set A. So this is not reflexive relation. You observe this R3. Observe this R3. You take 1. 1 comma 1 is there in this set? Yes. You take 2. 2 comma 2 is there in this set? Yes. Is it is a reflexive relation? First of all, you check it is a relation on A. It is a relation from A to A. All the elements present in this set are present in A cross A. Order pair 1 comma 1. Here order pair 1 comma 1 is there, right? Order pair 2 comma 2. Here order pair 2 comma 2 is there. It is a subset of A cross A. So R3 is a relation on A. First thing, it is relation on A. Okay. Second thing, you check 1 is there. 1 comma 1 is there in this relation? Yes, it is there. You take 2. 2 comma 2 is there in this relation? Yes. So it is a reflexive relation. Okay. So to check whether it is a reflexive relation or not, first of all, it is a relation on A. Next, that condition for every x belongs to A, x comma x belongs to R, that condition must be satisfied. You see this one, R4. You see this R4. First thing, you check is it is a relation from A to A or not. It is a subset of A cross A or not. You check 1 comma 1. Yes, it is present in A cross A. 2 comma 2 it is present in A cross A, 2 comma 1 it is present in A cross A. So R4 is a relation from A to A. If R4 is a relation from A to A, we say R4 is a relation on A. If R4 is a relation on A, now we will check whether it is reflexive or not. You take 1. 1 comma 1 is there in this? Yes. You take 2. 2 comma 2 is there in this? Yes. The condition is satisfied. Do not worry about this extra element. What is the condition? I'll come back to the definition of a relation. What is reflexive relation? What is reflexive relation? First of all, it is a relation on set A is said to be, a relation R on set A is said to be reflexive relation. For every x belongs to A, x comma x must present in the relation. So to understand the definition of reflexive relation, this R3, R4 are the best examples to understand. I hope you understand what is reflexive relation. I am saying again, in this relations chapter, 3 definitions are most important: reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation. In next class, once again, I'll quickly revise what is reflexive relation, and we'll discuss clearly about symmetric relation, transitive relation. If you understand these definitions clearly, then you can understand exercise problems. Theory is very, very important in relations chapter. Right? I hope you understand this class. Take your college material, go through various examples related to reflexive relation. Relation in first PUC you learn chapter called relations. Quickly revise that relations chapter. From this chapter in second PUC, 11 marks are there. Exam point of view, it is very, very important. And overall functions, relations and functions chapter, how much important means it is the most important chapter. Everything is a function. Whatever we do, it is a function. This chapter is very, very important. If you are very good in relations and functions chapter, that means you are going to make all the things easy in mathematics. I hope you understand this class. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.